Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another night of Deep Soul. Today, we are featuring local artists that incorporate Black pride, community outreach, and activism in their craft. Tonight, I welcome back to the Deep Soul Couch three individuals who are outspoken and insightful and spit the truth in everything that they do. I am so happy to welcome back to the couch, Writer's Block. Hey guys, as I said, I am joined by no other than Writer's Block. Welcome back to Deep Soul. It's been a while, right?
It has.
It has. And today, as I said before, my little monologue, we're talking about Black pride, community outreach, and activism, and Black History Month in itself. Why? Well, is Black History Month important to you, and why? Who wants to start first? I don't know. Who wants to take it?
Go ahead, Karima.
Black History Month for me is rather controversial, only because I feel like we deserve way more than a month. And at school, for the 11 months, all you hear about is like European American and all that kind of stuff. And like we get 28 days, and we talk about, I don't want to say cliche Black history, but it's always like the same curriculum. Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, never like the Noble Drew Ali, Malcolm X, those people, those activists, those Black people that really paved the way for us. So I think Black history is super necessary, but I think it's time that Black people take control of it and like really teach it.
Oh, wow. Take control and change it. And that way it's good for us and our culture. I like that. Invest. That's another stuff. We're going to talk about that later. Twigs, what about you?
Okay, so I just feel like every day is Black History Month day.
Every day is Black History.
Like when you just wake up Black, you know? But
you are the history.
Exactly. So I just, I feel like Black is American Black culture. It can mean so much, I think that it's like originated from slavery is what they teach us.
But there's so much more to it.
Yeah, it's like it's deeper than just that. And I think like I was watching an interview the other day, and this girl, she was like Hispanic, but she used the N-word, and she was confronting Trina the rapper, and she was saying, I feel like I can use the N-word because I'm Hispanic, and so I feel Black. So it's like it's almost like a paradox. It's Black a feeling, it's Black just for people who face discrimination. What is Black? So
I like that. Actually, we'll ask y'all that when we get done with this question. What is Black to you? Because there's a difference between Black History Month and being Black in itself. Yeah. So, Newly May, let's go to that question first. What does Black History Month mean to you? And if you want to segue into what does being Black mean to you, you can.
Yeah, I would say for sure that Black History Month, I love the celebration aspect and, the teaching component, but I would like to see more like, for me in school, I kind of heard everything after slavery, and there was nothing that happened like in America, but like Black is global. Like there's things that happen around the world. You can find Black in all corners of the earth. So I would like there to be more, like Karima said, like we kind of got to put in our own hands, because we can't necessarily be upset with what we're being taught if we're not the ones teaching it, if we're not in control of that.
Yeah. All right, and what does being Black mean to you?
I see Black as being, Black is first, it's where all colors derive from. Wow. So you can get any color out of Black. So it's now proven that you have the first bones, the first person on this earth can be dated back to Africa. Yeah. So if we, start there, we can find that everything comes from Black. It's the original.
It's the original. No.
The original.
My grandmother always taught me and my sister that there is not one solitary person. You all have like a mixture of everything in you. So I like how you was going to that. Twigs, what about you? What does being Black mean to you?
Oh, okay. So I think that Black is almost like a melting pot. You have to have like your culture, the process of trying to find your culture. I think that's what makes you Black. That in itself is like what can I do? The question, you questioning, like where did I come from? Do you know your history? No, you don't. So then that's like one aspect. Then it was just like the racial aspect. So then like if you walk into a room full of white people, racist white people, I want to say, not just any white people,
not just
but
like
like racist white people, would they deem you as being able to sit with them? Would they look at you differently? Like, are you accepted? It's just so many factors that go into Black. So
No, I like that. Makes sense. No, makes sense. Karima, what about you?
Black to me is perseverance. It's excellence. It's copywritten. It's so many things.
It's everything that is just you. It's stagnant. It's 100% it is that pride.
It
As you do
is.
that symbol. I like that. Okay. No, it's Black excellence. It is. Do you have any more you want to go into that? Or is that really it? Black excellence? Yeah.
That feeling
Just that.
of overcoming, powerful, beautiful.
Black is beautiful.
Black
Black
is
is.
the only thing I see with my eyes closed.
All right, so we talked about Black importance and importance of Black History Month and how it should be celebrated every day, but it's in our society, especially, we were talking about earlier, social media, how they just post it only on in February. That's pretty much it, you know.
Yeah.
I want to go into the influential people in our history, whether to, this time or back then that inspired you. Like, who would you talk about? What inspired you? I don't know, who wants to take it?
I go first.
There we go. This is the first time she went first. Wait a minute. So let's not. Yeah, she never went first.
Oprah. Okay, so Maya Angelou and Oprah. Maya Angelou, basically because of her story. Like, I'm a poet that doesn't really like to read poetry. I love spoken word because I'm very artsy. I have to be immersed in your story in order for me to deem it as being good.
So the background before you know what's going to be in front of you. Maybe
Yeah,
know the history first.
yeah. So even though I've seen her read stuff and some of her works, and I was inspired by a lot of her stuff. But listening to her story and about how she was mute, how she felt like her words killed a person before, she's just really powerful. And then I've been secretly following Oprah, but I just realized.
Oprah, I'm watching you.
Right. Oprah, come for you. As long as you don't say that first. I said before, just say, hello, I'm this first, and then we go into it. What about Karima? What about you?
So mine is also Maya Angelou, and then the Almond Louis Farrakhan, and kind of similar to why she likes Maya Angelou, like her story, just her perseverance. I feel like the more you go through, the greater you become as a person, and like Maya Angelou,
Trial tribulation.
Exactly, she was exactly that. And then for Minister Farrakhan, I just think he is a leader for Black people. He's shown that he's unwavering, he's unapologetic, he tells the truth how it is, and what you decide to do with it is on you, but he gives, I feel the tools not just to Black people but to all people to really just do what you need to do and to get it done. And so those are my two most important.
And that's writer's block in itself, we were talking before, we're going to give you the information, and what you do with it, that's on you. Okay, how you receive it, what you do with it, that's on you. Newly May, what about you?
Okay, so as an artist,
That's a whole list of.
there's not enough time.
There's not enough time.
But as an artist, I'm drawn to artistry, and as a creative individual, I feel like being creative is what connects me to the creator. Those who create is that's how we're connected. So I definitely have a deep appreciation for those who create, as well as build from what they create. To name a few, I would have to say Michael Jackson, Jay-Z, Chance the Rapper, and Nina Simone.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nina Simone. All right, so now we're going to make it even harder and talk about a quote from one particular person that changed you or affects you as a writer. Let's go with Twix first. I don't know why, but I'm just wanting you to be first right now.
Okay, shoot my shot. So basically, I love when Maya Angelou said that reading Shakespeare, Shakespeare knew what it felt like to be a little Black girl in the South. And I was like, that's so crazy to me because, this white man back then knows what it feels like to be a little Black girl. So it just made me realize art is so transferable. And even though we talk about Black culture, it's what if there's a world where there's no racism and they still can feel our words and inspire them in a different way, So
Nice.
I never thought about that. A world without racism. I don't know what that looks like. None of us do. Black Panther.
They'll fight me.
All right, Karima, what about you? One quote by someone.
So since she did Maya Angelou, I'll do one from the Almost Was Farrakhan, which is accept your own and be yourself. And I think that gives like you the platform to one, figure out who you are and really accept that. Like I feel like in this society, everybody is trying to be something they're not, like putting on for the gram. Like it's all a bunch of like facades. Even with rappers and actors, like that's not really what they're doing. So like once you accept who you are, like really study yourself, then I think that's when you begin to prosper and different things start to happen for you.
Okay, and we're gonna be right back with Newly Made's answer when we return. Hey guys, we're back with Writer's Block. We was talking about quotes from historical figures that meant something to you, and we stopped with you. Now we're gonna go with Newly Made.
Yeah.
So open us up.
Okay, so I'll go with Nina Simone, and basically she said that as an artist, paraphrasing, as artists we have a responsibility to reflect the times, what's happening. So if there's something going on in the community, something going on in the world, injustices, like we have to speak on it. We can't act like we don't see it, like it's not happening. Like we use our craft, our God-given abilities to speak on it, to shed light, to inflict change.
Well, that actually goes into we were talking about before, Writer's Block being a source of knowledge, giving off knowledge, and being that source of change. You know, y'all are that source of change.
Yeah.
Change. So I want to know, we all know that you started off writing early, at an early age. I want to know what made you go into writing about Black culture or about anything that was in Black culture, like stereotypes, injustice, inequality, anything like that. Karima, start first, because I got on twigs, now I gotta be you.
So for me, I started writing at 15. The first initial one was like about my father. Then at 17, Southern Word came to our school, and I started writing about like, I don't think it was social injustices. It wasn't until like a big breakup and I decided I really wanted to be taken serious as an artist, that I wanted to write about something controversial. I was listening to Minister Farrakhan, and so that's where
You was woke,
yeah, I was definitely woke. And so. One time. That's where Welcome to America came in.
Yeah.
Like, I just felt like there's so much hidden from us, and like I have this platform really to use my talents to basically shed light on God and like the things that I think is super important that not just Black people, but that like all people know. And so that's what started me on this woke journey.
Okay. Twigs, what about you?
I was accidental woke.
Welcome to accident.
I know I was woke. So basically, my auntie, she was on the board for the, not the Image Awards. She was on the board for the NAACP youth chapter in Wisconsin.
Y'all looked great, by the way, on Image Awards. Just want to throw it out there.
Oh,
but,
thank you.
Yeah. Throw it out there, but yeah.
But okay, so I had to write, I had to display a talent. I was like, what's your talent? I don't know. So I was like, let me write something and see if it's there. So actually my first ever poem was about the Black community, and it was comparing like how the media controls us. It was like everything that I seen in my community.
This was 16, right?
Yeah, it was, you know what, Milwaukee is it's a place where it's like really divided. So you can kind of notice the differences on like where people live and how people interact, and the crabs in the bucket theory. Like it's definitely there. So I was just seeing, I was just writing about what I seen and how people wanted to be like the people on TV, and I'm like, the people on TV are teaching you the wrong things. Like, please don't. It's all an act. Like, just take it as what it is.
Like, it's a lie.
So that's basically when I became woke.
Okay.
Almost.
That's what was, because earlier we went to talk about how people mistake the age for your maturity. So I love how at an early age, both of y'all, even all of y'all, decided to say, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to speak up. Because I feel like people think that it's an age requirement in order to have a voice or to do anything in their community or honestly, anything a part of themselves. So anyway, going to Newly Made, what about you?
What is woke really?
I wasn't expecting that.
I'm sorry.
I mean, okay, so like no judgment, because like our understanding comes to us at different times, and like people learn or they get some information and they quick to forget about who they were before they got the information. So like understanding, like no judgment, like we all learning, we're all becoming more and more aware. So for me, there's definitely levels of consciousness.
Yeah.
I started off, I would say, you know, on a day like today, Valentine's Day, writing some, you know, love notes and whatever the case. And, you know, you can't start off fighting the man, you know, all at once. But I started off with like, you know, writing stuff about love and things like that.
You do love first, then you start take it down now because the man is in power.
Okay, so yeah, like there's you know priorities. There's things like that are become more pressing. So it started off like school assignments and then like writing little notes. But like after high school passed and then getting to college, like you start getting introduced to real life, like these real life problems, like bills, jobs, like college tuition, like all these things that like you didn't have to face before. So it's like, I got a little more deeper into my writing. Like my stuff became a little more, you know, complicated because my life was becoming more complicated. Yeah. So when it came time to, you know, social media and this platform where you see all these injustices, all these things happening across the country, across the world, like right there in front of your face, and it's constant, like it creates something in you that like has to get out, like you need an outlet. So for me, the shift kind of came for when I started seeing all that and I needed to like say something about it. And the other stuff is still important, like it's still a part of me, but it's not as important as like what's happening right now, what's affecting me and those around me in my community, like right now.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. And as we're talking about Black pride and Black excellence, there's also another thing, Black love, going to both of y'all over here, Karima and Nilly Mae, being engaged. I like that. End of it.
No, Twix is like our
she's our designated third wheel.
No, she's like our baby.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about the importance of Black love at the same time, because it is important, and it comes with so many different stereotypes. So I want to talk about, well, y'all too. If Twix, you got a comment, go ahead. I'm sorry as well. If you got a comment about it too, go ahead.
Single, ready to mingle.
Newly Mae, since we ended with you, let's start with you on this. The importance of Black love, and what does it mean to you?
It's very important because right now it's kind of something that's not seen.
Yeah.
It's not really talked about or really shown, at least the way I believe it to be, the way I have come to realize it can be. So I would definitely say it needs to be shown more. Like I would like the representation of it to be more positive, more fluent. Okay.
For me, Black love is so beautiful, and I think it's underrated. Like, a lot of people say like there's a lot of divorce in the Black communities, but there's also a lot of married Black couples that have been together for 25, 30
40
years.
Those are the 40. Ones that throw me off. 40.
Yes.
I feel like you wasn't tired?
Right. But they tell you like it's about the long haul, and I look at love as duty. Like, yes, it is accompanied with butterflies and all that, but when Newly gets on my nerve, am I still gonna want to cook him dinner? Like, am I still gonna love him when, you know, it's still that duty? And I think a lot of people don't realize it's that duty, and that's when they throw in the towel. And so I think Black love is the most beautiful thing in the world.
Oh, and we do give up early.
We do.
It'll be 16. You'll be 16 years old, being with your sweetheart for about 4 or 5 years now. You're now about 23, and you're like, all right, she got my nerves now. I'm done. What?
Well, you do change though. Like sometimes it's inevitable.
Maturity and growth.
Yeah,
but you gotta grow together.
It takes time to even figure out what you're in. Like you need at least
who you are. Yeah. You gotta know who you are before you can expect something from somebody else.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta go to this. RuPaul said it best. He said, "How can you love? If you can't love yourself, how can you love anyone else?" So, sorry, I gotta quote that. But that goes with it. It goes with it. You gotta think about it, because you have to love yourself. You have to understand who you are in order for you to be able to accept another. So. I'm glad we talked about that. Today we have another piece by y'all. What are we performing today?
Verbal assault.
Verbal assaults.
What is that about?
You'll see. No.
We're assaulting you.
So
that's actually like that's the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, it's slick. It's self-titled. So.
In short, like we're just basically assaulting those who misuse the platform. Like,
Wow.
we
Is this
just-
the
this is for
platform
you.
of Black culture or?
No, that misuse the platform of like rap. Though, if you have an audience, somebody listening to you, then you have a responsibility to lead them a certain way.
I like it.
I think it applies though.
It does. It does.
It definitely
Okay.
does, yeah.
When we come back, that's what y'all gonna hear: a verbal assault, a verbal attack, and everything with Writer's Block. And again, I want to thank y'all for coming, and I can't wait to hear what y'all about to do. Stay tuned.
Don't believe everything that you're taught.
We speak in truth, and the truth can't be caught.
Yeah, we did it, but it wasn't our fault. Poets on the run.
This is a verbal assault.
Blasphemy. They after me.
After me.
I pity anybody comes after me, but it wouldn't be a war without casualties. Casually, callously, they use their mic carelessly, carefully. I'm castrating.
Cats out the bag now, they had it coming.
Catastrophe.
Again with all the questions, what is it you asking me? Did I do it?
Yeah, I did it.
And I'd do it again if I had the chance. All these Cabbage Patch Kids thinking they Macho Man Savage.
Attacking you savagely. I don't care who get mad at me. Lyrical Assassin's Creed. I be low-key planting seeds.
And they germinated. No explanation for your pompous pontification.
They call me Twigs for a reason. Sit down, sir. It's not your season. Act like Becky Greens. You forgot your season.
They say I'm cocky. All facts, no copies. On my float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Who gonna stop me?
Ooh, that was disrespectful, though. This my disrespectful flow. Shout out Newly on the low.
Hey, can I get a feature though?
Take your L, don't pass go. This my boardwalk. Twiggy talks, you listen. Out here sneak dissing like Hidden Figures. Taraji P. Henson couldn't calculate my ascension. Honorable mention, I will be getting listen.
Rhymes ain't the only thing that they missing. Must have lost their mind reminiscing. Should have quit. Thought they had a job that wasn't it. It's not my fault they couldn't spit. I had to do it. I'm glad I did. That's what they get.
Why
y'all so mad?
All my lines stay legit.
False prophets and fake gimmicks.
Do it for the culture? Nah, y'all did it for your image.
Kind of typical you have me here. I just care with my people here. They place no standards on this career. Respect the mic when it comes near. They wildin', promoting mental health issues as some type of God's deal. Who raised you?
The industry.
They made you into a weapon against the culture, vulture, tarnishing the road your OGs paved you, disgraceful, comparing yourself to greatness, you rapists, mixed together, fake thugs, sex, drugs, and a label, you get famous. Ain't did anything for the culture except shameless. I ain't trying to hear it though. It's a new generation coming and we ain't accepting nothing less than greatness.
Kind of suspect they would name me as a crook. I'm not the one who's stealing time. Witness claims they gotta look like I'm the one who did the crime. Go ahead, throw the book. But these vultures be the criminals, picking on decay over and over. Y'all ain't over those. Mine stuck on mumble mode. Molly Percocet injecting poison as you overdose. Future generations lose respect, switching gender roles. Mask off, expose. Sipping on those Maxine waters. I'm just reclaiming all my syllables.
Kind of funny, I'm in this interrogation. Trumped up charges I'm facing, ain't no saving this situation. Passively leading the flock astray. Holier than thou, only on Sunday, maybe someday they'll get it right. Spiritual set tripping, they say I'm tripping. I'm just a witness, more like a messenger. I got a message for you.
Hear ye,
Rappers.
Actors.
poets and pastors.
And for all those who use the mic irresponsibly,
This has been a warning verbally.
we're coming for you.
All right, yes, they're coming for you and they're having a whole verbal assault. Y'all be aware. All right, so what's the next project coming up? What's going on?
So, Newly here has a project coming out in February.
Okay.
Also, we'll be traveling to Chicago doing Hip Hop Detox, which is basically like kind of detoxing you from the hip hop, kind of positive hip hop.
poison.
Right, the poison that we find in hip hop. Then you can always catch us on Instagram.
Block support.
Write the blog.
Write the blog.
Yes,
Block
definitely.
support.
Blog support.
Building
Okay,
block.
and this is on February the 23rd when y'all go to Chicago.
Yes, that's February 23rd,
Okay.
next Friday.
And they can catch that video.
On so go to Facebook.
Face block.
Hey. Check it on Facebook now.
Right. Go to Facebook
Block
and
the
you
book.
can like the page for Hip Hop Detox Live.
All right, well, that's all we have for you with Writer's Block. This was Deep Soul, and as I always say, keep it soulful.